Hey guys, Tyler here, and today I'm going to be going over the book Why We Sleep by Matthew Walker. And it's all about basically the importance of sleep, how to get sleep, why we can or cannot sleep, the long-term benefits and the long-term cons if you do not get enough sleep. It literally talks anything sleep related, you will get your answer in this book. Now I'm going to go ahead and be honest and say that this book is not the most user-friendly in terms that there's a lot of big words in there throughout the entire book that you might kind of lose track on what it means and whatnot. There's a lot of big words. It's not really made for your average 5 to 10-year-old to go read and learn how to sleep. This is definitely a lot more into the whole science of sleep, the psychology, the physiology, all of that stuff. So in a way, what's cool, what I personally liked about the book is the fact that not only does it, the author Matthew Walker obviously talk about sleep and all the consequences that can come with it. He really goes a long way to almost in a way scare you into sleeping better and getting better sleeping habits. He talks about so many cons or just overall bad things that can happen to you and your body if you do not get adequate enough sleep, to the point where you get scared to force yourself and start picking up better habits to get better sleep. And the book is somewhat of a long read. If we include even the index, it does come out to about 358 pages. So like I said, it's a long read. It's definitely not big lettering, so it's easy, like going faster. You can see right here, like it is the constant same type of page work for the entire book. And what's cool about the author's whole mood throughout the entire book is that he understands that it may not be the most engaging book. I know a lot of people will be interested in reading this and be able to read it without any problems. But for me, myself, the book, there was just so much just new terminology and so much science and stuff that it was hard to follow along. And even at the beginning of the book, he even says, it's like, hey, if you like decide that this book is too boring or you find yourself even falling asleep while reading it, he not only says that it's fine, he actually encourages it just because he understands that there are just some things that many people do not want to read or just kind of get sleepy or just disengaged when reading. And he does help out with the whole, I guess, if you don't want to read this chapter, you don't have to read this chapter idea. So it's all put into 4 different parts. The first part is titled This Thing Called Sleep. So that just kind of talks about what sleep is, how we achieve sleep, and just more of the history of sleep. The second part is named Why Should You Sleep? So this is all obviously in the title, Why Should You Sleep? The pros and cons, so the pros of sleeping good, getting adequate sleep, compared to the cons of not getting good enough sleep and what can come from that and all the long-term and short-term health benefits. And it also talks about just really why we engage in the sleep, why our body says, okay, it's time to sleep. And the third part is titled How and Why We Dream. So it's all about dreams. It's about what dreams mean, why we can't remember dreams, and it really dives into a bit deeper to that side of sleep. And then the last part is all about titled From Sleeping Pills to Society Transform. So this chapter is all about basically why it is best to fall asleep naturally and get sleep natural. And I mean natural in terms of not taking like sleeping pills like melatonin, for example. He's really advocating for getting the most natural sleep you can, and he does give you many tips throughout the whole book, at the beginning, throughout the middle, and at the end. At the end, he does have a whole page just dedicated to 12 tips, like 12 very specific tips to help you get better sleep, and they all have reasoning that he talks about throughout the whole book as well as at the very end. So he really talks about how you want to get the most natural sleep possible to just have the most best overall health quality in life, just because he really talks about throughout the whole book, and it's true, that sleep is one of the most important things that you can do for your life and really invest in yourself to have overall great health. And it all comes to show that really sleep is one of the most important things of your life. I mean, realistically, if you put sleep compared to your job or your hobbies or just anything else you do in life, sleep you do the most. And sleep takes up 1/3 of your life, so 8 out of your 24 hours a day should be filled with sleep, just because he advocates for at least getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep. That's usually about where the sweet spot is. He also does mention the whole idea of naps, but you can read that throughout the book yourself. But really, you sleep for 1/3 of your life, so I feel like it's important to really understand and know as much as you can about sleep, so therefore you can improve your overall life, because two-thirds of your life is not sleeping, but 2/3 of those life are also affected by your sleep. So in other words, 2/3 of your life is affected by only 1/3 of your other life.